Postseason action continues to roll on for our fall sports as our boys soccer teams begin playoff action this week. Hello everyone, I'm your host, Joe Kennedy, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. There's plenty to be covered this week, so let's tackle our first sports as the final week of regular season football kicked off on Friday.
Naperville Central takes the field for the final regular season game, and this is also the DVC Bowl against Neuqua Valley. This is a replay of the Week 5 matchup that the Redhawks won 21-7, but the Wildcats are looking for revenge and are hoping to nab that important win number 6 to secure a playoff spot. Redhawks pick up where they left off last week as Jack Cook drops back to pass and finds Logan Dievik for a 32-yard pickup down the sideline. A few plays later, it's Aiden Clark finding Paydirt for a 4th straight week to put the Hawks up 7-0. Central has the ball again, going with the pass, but Andrew Hoffman jumps up and picks it off to set the Wildcats up in great position. Ryan Moeller calls his own number and plows through defenders for the Wildcat touchdown, and that ties the game at 7. In the second quarter, Cook quickly puts behind the bad taste as he finds Chris Byrne on the wide receiver screen, and in the blink of an eye, he flies by all the defenders, and he is gone for an 82-yard touchdown. Redhawks retake the lead 14-7. Neuqua uses the ground and pound game on their next possession with Will Beeman, who is also off and running in the blink of an eye as well. Nick Zabilet chases him down, but the 70-yard play puts the Wildcats in prime position. Beeman finishes off the drive with a touchdown, and this game is tied once again, this time at 14. Redhawks want to take the lead back with Cook rolling out, but the Wildcats take the ball back with a Jacob Vanderlyn interception. Moeller makes them pay as he finds Miles Miskell for a 14-yard connection that has the Cats on the doorstep. Moeller continues his magic on the ground with another QB sneak, and the Wildcats take back the lead 20-14, which is also your halftime score. Time for Moeller to display his arm. He puts one up for Cooper Lehman, and Lehman comes down with it for a 35-yard gain. The Moeller and Lehman combo stays on the menu. The QB fakes out the defense and finds an open Lehman for the touchdown. Neuqua extends their lead to 26-14. The defense continues to hold its ground, and it's Miskell playing as a defender, and he picks off Cook for the 3rd Wildcat interception of the ballgame. Neuqua Valley picks up a big 26-14 win and improves their record to 6-3. Playoffs are up next for both teams.
Playoffs are starting for fall sports, and the DVC is set to host the girls' conference meet. This year's races will take place at Naperville North as the 6 schools all eye the DVC title. We get things going with the 200-yard freestyle. Neuqua Valley's Carolina Piotr edges out the Husky swimmers of Chloe Chen and Peyton Schreier by .21 to get the Wildcats out in front early. Picking it up in the 200-yard IM, the Wildcats would add to their already hefty lead as Alice Meng dominates the race, winning by over 1.47 with a time of 2:15.28. The quickest race of the day, the 50-meter freestyle. Neuqua Valley would continue to dominate early on as Crystal Yu outswims Allison Leslie of Mattia Valley, winning with a time of 24:57. After the 15-minute rest period, the Wildcats wouldn't lose any momentum at all in the 100-yard butterfly. Sophia LeBerry joins in on the winning. She blisters the rest of the field with an overall time of 59:29. The next race would be another 100-yard event, the 100-yard freestyle. It would be the closest race of the night, and it would come down to Emily Wu of Neuqua Valley against Chloe Chen of Naperville North. Chen once again falls just short by .01, with Wu winning at 54.21. The longest race of the meet would be the 500-yard freestyle. This would be the first race of the day not won by Neuqua Valley, as Malika Putingham sets a blistering 7-second gap over the rest of the field. LeBear's big day would continue in the 100-yard backstroke race. It would come down between her and Allison Leslie for the win, and Leslie once again comes up just short as LeBear wins her second individual race of the day. Another Nequa individual from the relay race was Ruhi Shetton, and she would join in on the individual action in the 100-yard breaststroke. It would be another close Nequa vs. North race between Shetton and Tasha Mantle, but the Wildcats again inch out the Huskies as Shetton wins by .13. The last race of the day would be the 400-yard relay, and the Wildcats would stop any chance of being defeated as the team of Shetton, Crystal Yu, Emily Wu, and Natalie Suzanowski outpaced the rest of the field with an overall time of 3:38.06. Nequa Valley claims the DVC girls swimming title with a score of 337.5. Naperville North finishes second with a score of 240, while Waubonsie Valley gets third with a score of 211.5.
We're at Metea Valley High School for the 2023 DVC Girls Diving Championship. Divers from all 5 Naperville area DVC schools are fighting to secure a top spot in preparation for sectionals on November 4th. The meet kicks off with Ella Buchenhauer from Waubonsie Valley performing an inward dive pike. She would finish inside the top 3 with a final score of 357. Up next is Nequa Valley's Lillian Marks as she performs a back dive pike. This dive helps her secure a 4th place tie with a final score of 342.25. Next diver is Waubonsie Valley's Lucia Caruso performing an inward 1 somersault tuck. She would go on to tie with Lillian Marks for 4th place, ending the night with a 342.25 score. On the board is Naperville Central's Gabby Tapia performing the 1 1/2 somersault pike. She would end the day with a score of 300.20. Jumping in is Bridget Anderson of Metea Valley performing a forward 1 1/2 somersault 1 twist free. This dive helps the Mustang finish with the second best score in the DVC Championship with a final number at 357.15. From Naperville North is Samara Connolly performing a back 1 somersault 1/2 twist. Connolly would end the day with a score of 314.50. We have another diver from Naperville North, and that is Lucy Weidman performing an inward dive tuck. The Husky would end the day with a score of 255.65. And our final diver of the night is Zara Jin of Nequa Valley, where she performs a reverse dive pike, and the judges give her scores ranging from 7 to 8 on the dive. The Wildcat ends the night with the highest score of the meet, finishing with a 383.55. Jin is the champion of the DVC, and everyone from tonight's meet will be competing in the Nequa Valley Sectional on November 4th. Naperville North girls cross country and the Nequa Valley boys team both picked up a DVC championship last week. Regionals were held over the weekend, and we'll see who is bringing home the plaques on the other side of the break.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're studying at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
It's postseason time in cross country, and in the first season after the change from 3A to 2A, the Bennett girls are looking to take home a win at the Trinity Regional. Let's get to the start of the race as the Red Wings in all red uniforms in the middle take off down the start line at Miller Meadow, and Delilah Hellenhaus gets off to a slight lead off the start. As the runners make their second lap around, Hellenhaus is a pace ahead of Trinity's Molly McReel as Bennett freshman Paitlin Motlier follows behind with a big gap behind the trio. Behind them at the turn is Nazareth Sophia Toney, Faye Farrell from Bennett, and Jaden Chavez from St. Lawrence. At the end, it's McGreal who pulls ahead for Trinity and takes first overall as an individual for the host school. Following behind is Hellenhaus, who takes second. Later, Farrell comes across the line in 5th for the Red Wings, and Bennett wins the 2A regional with 3 top 5 finishers, as Nazareth comes in 2nd with St. Lawrence in 3rd.
A near picture-perfect day at Naperville North for regional cross-country action as Metea Valley, Waubonsie Valley, Naperville Central, Neuqua Valley, and Naperville North look to qualify for sectionals next week in Hinsdale. Girls varsity was underway at 10 a.m. and to no surprise, it was Central's Liv Phillips and Naperville North's Julie Pyatt who got ahead of the group early. The two are side-by-side early on, and then Waubonsie's Mia Bertoloni was just ahead of Downers Grove South's Holly Johnson, who had Neuqua's Addison Gusky trailing. The Tandon twins Rihanna and Shania were 7 and 6 as her teammates Emma Barris, followed by Lala Satri Morales from Central. Metea Valley's Maya Hall and Kamira Baker were teamed up in the top 10, while Naperville North's Bridget Cassican and Brianna Pfeiffer battle with Neuqua's Sienna McInerney to stay within the top 15. Approaching the second mile, Phillips and Pyatt continue stride for stride as the rest of the pack starts to separate themselves. While Bertolini stays ahead of Johnson, Rihanna Tandon claims the 5th spot, and Gusky closes in on 6th. Shania and Barris partner up for the Huskies at 7 and 8. The Mustang duo Hall and Baker catch up to Satre Morales, and Abby Mogg moves up. With the final stretch approaching, Phillips starts to break away from Pyatt as the two runners have a minute and 26-second lead over 3rd place. Johnson pulls away from Bertoloni for 3rd, who is trailed by 3 runners, Rihanna, Barris, and Shania, all looking to close in. Cruising her way to another first-place finish is Phillips. Pyatt is in 2nd, and Johnson holds on to 3rd. As everyone continues across the finish line, Naperville North takes the team victory in 1st place and will advance along with other top 5 schools next week at Catherine Leahy Memorial Park to compete in sectionals. Naperville North is the host of the Boys Cross Country Regionals, which features 5 DVC teams, all looking to qualify for sectionals on October 28th. The race is underway with 83 runners looking to advance themselves into next week and set new personal records. Metea's Austin Brown leads ahead with Naperville Central's Tyler Browning just behind. Runners make their way around the mile as it's Neuqua Valley's Zach Close and Downers Grove South's Josh Paschal in the 1 and 2 spots. Close's counterpart, Robert Glenn, is in 3rd place with Browning, and West Aurora's Sean Heatland trailing. Naperville North's Amar Banpuri and Glenbard West's Mason Hefner battled for the 6th and 7th spot. Close still maintains the top spot, but not by much, with Paschal on his heels. Glenn, with some distance to cover, is in 3rd. The all-intense turn marks the home stretch as Paschal gets the closest he's been all race to Close to the finish line, and it's down to milliseconds with Close and Paschal sprinting to the end as the fans and fellow runners cheer on an intense moment. It's Close winning by the skin of his teeth, just 1 second ahead of Paschal. Browning takes 3rd, and Heatland comes in 4th. Lots of great finishes on the day, but at the end, it's Neuqua Valley winning the regional with a score of 56 to place themselves into the sectional in Hinsdale next Saturday.
The Bennett boys cross-country team looks to keep a strong season going at Miller Meadow in the Trinity Regional. The Red Wings are competing in Class 2A as they competed in Class 3A last season. Live at the start of the race, the Bennett team in the all-red uniforms stay in a tight formation in the middle of the pack. After the first turn, Luis Flores of St. Lawrence is pacing the pack along with Jaden Frederick and Tim Jockum of Glenbard South. Bennett's top 3 runners are Finn Richards, Charlie Phelan, and Aiden Hewlett. The runners make their way down a long straight at the start of the race. About halfway through the 3 miles, a pack starts forming with Flores and Phelan neck and neck at the front, with Frederick, Richards, Hewlett, and Danny Shannon of Bennett, who are right there in the top 10. Glenbard South brothers Tim and Tom Jockum round things out at the front. Brian Amide and Matt Spellman are within the top 20 as well for the Red Wings. Nearing the home stretch, Luis Flores is in the lead, with Frederick right behind him. Phelan and Finn Richards are close behind the 2 leaders. 10 feet behind, it's Tim Jockum and Hewlett, with the pack 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. At the end, Richards of Bennett empties his gas tank to get ahead of Flores to take first place with a 15-minute, 16-second 3-mile mark. A pair of seniors from Glenbard South come up huge as Frederick gets third and Tim Jockum barely edges Phelan to take fourth in the regional. Hewlett comes across in sixth, and Bennett has a few top 10 finishers, but Glenbard South has 5 runners in the top 10 to take the team victory at the regional. Bennett places second, and St. Lawrence comes in third. This season, the Tandon twins of Shania and Rihanna helped lead Naperville North girls cross country to its 12th consecutive DVC championship. We'll have more on this dynamic young duo after the break.
Oh yeah, I'll take one of your specials, my man.
There you go, princess.
We were there when you explored questionable street meat.
Maybe read the reviews next time?
We were there for that. And we're here for everything else. Here it's personal because we get to know you.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Naperville North girls cross country has been one of the top programs in the States for more than 2 decades. This fall, the Tandon twins are the next in line, looking to lead the Huskies to glory. Patrick Cotto has more on our latest feature story, sponsored by Edward Elmhurst Health.
When you are the type of program that has won 10 state championships and over 20 state trophies, you don't expect freshmen to be able to join the team and become immediate varsity contributors. But Naperville North girls cross country saw not 1, but 2 elite runners join the blue and orange last fall, with the Tandon twins, Shania and Rihanna, entering the fold. It was clear to Hall of Fame head coach Dan Iverson that he had a special duo on his hands.
When we saw him in the summer, we knew that, some of the times they'd run in junior high track and that sort of a thing. So we kind of knew that we were getting kids that were pretty good. But workouts going into our first meet before freshman year, we knew that they were athletes that were varsity athletes right away. We don't throw freshmen that into varsity lightly. If they earn it, they're there, and so they were.
It was that extensive history of success that drew the Tandons to the Husky program in the first place, with the family moving into the district before the start of their high school careers.
We really chose North just because of its absolute positivity, and it's just and over the years it's just been an amazing, successful program. So just coming into this program, it's been absolutely amazing, just being surrounded with so many supporters and lots of great people who are very wise and definitely have a lot to teach us in the running world.
Over the past 2 seasons, Rihanna and Shania have proven to be some of the top distance runners in Illinois, regardless of age. They each finished in the top 10 at last season's regional and in the top 15 at the sectional. To no surprise, the success has continued this fall as the Tandons, along with veteran runners like Julie Pyatt, Emma Barris, and Annika Lavisa, have led the Huskies to the DVC and regional championships. While their parents both have running backgrounds, the Tandon twins both discovered their passion for running while competing in other sports growing up.
We both played basketball together and soccer, but my sister did play soccer for a little bit longer than I did, and I decided to focus mainly on basketball before going into running. And oh my gosh, I loved basketball. It was so much fun. It was just the time management between both of the sports would have been too difficult to do, and I was obviously better at running, so I decided to stay with the running.
As this talented pair just begins to scratch the surface of their skill set on the course, the sisters love being able to support and push each other through the ups and downs of the season-long grind.
Oh my gosh, it's awesome. I love how we are the same age, so we're not very competitive with each other, and we work together and we do our workouts together and we train together, so it's great. And I love having someone who's pretty close in times with me, so I can run with her and we can get better together. It's very motivating because even I know Rihanna has dealt with a few injuries here and there. Just being on the track without her just feels like I'm missing something, and that goes with when she is there on the race course and on the track. It's just an absolute pleasure to have her by my side, and I feel blessed every single day to have her running with me.
They've been really good at working together. They've been really good at making each other better. When one of them has a rough day, the other one kind of picks up, and then vice versa on the next meet. And so sometimes it can be a negative rivalry, and it doesn't really appear that that's the case with them. They appear to really make each other better.
In the sport of cross country and track, you are often competing against yourself and your own previous times in addition to the other runners on the course. But when you have a twin running next to you, that can lead to some friendly banter once the race is over.
Before the race, we're kind of just like, we have to get this done and we have to run as hard as we can and like lock in. But then after the race, we will definitely hear it from each other sometimes. Definitely no smack talk between us. And of course, we are competitive, but competitive for the better. We definitely like to race with each other rather than against each other. And yeah, before the races, we do a little handshake and we just remind each other that we're here, God is with us, we're with each other, and yeah, it's all for the better.
For Coach Iverson, having Rihanna and Shania on the squad for 2 more seasons creates only one complication: figuring out who is who when they emerge from the pack.
They have slightly different form, although they're pretty close. I mean, it's actually pretty similar, but they do have slightly different form, and they wear their hair a little bit differently, and so. But again, I made the mistake after conference. I looked down and for a second I thought it was one, it was the other. Oops.
The goal is to be able to run together as long as they can through their high school careers and hopefully in college as well. But for now, the Husky duo is ready to continue their run through the postseason all the way to Detweiler Park, while cementing their places as some of the best to ever lace up their shoes for the Naperville North program.
They seem to be very into the idea of following into that history, and they certainly have already written places in it. Each of them have courses where they're part of the top 10 of all time so far, and we hope that continues. But so far, we're just really blessed to have them part of the program.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Let's head to Bennett Academy for our Girls Play of the Week, where the Red Wings faced off against Montini Catholic on senior night. We jump about halfway through the first set, and Charlotte Torres gets the serve in and sets up defensively near the back. Montini returns the serve with a lot of power, and it's a tough one to receive for Bennett. With the sprawling dig, Torres does whatever it takes to keep the play alive for the Red Wings. The rally continues, and thanks to the defensive play from Torres, they secure a point. Gabby Stasis hammers it home for the kill as Bennett goes on to sweep the Broncos in straight sets. Last season, the Naperville Central boys soccer team picked up its first state championship in program history. We'll close today's show with action on the pitch as the regional rounds were held this week.
Hey everybody, Stephen Holt here from NBC5. What is a better way to start the morning than a fresh, hot cup of coffee? Well, NCTV 17's The Morning Show. We've got sizzling interviews, heated competition with Game On. Also, we have a live band and breakfast is included. It's the hottest ticket in town. I'll see you there.
Look, Mom, I found one.
Oh, yeah, you did, but we need an ATM from our bank, unless you want to spend a small fortune in fees.
No, thank you. Banking with BMO means more fee-free ATMs than the 2 largest U.S. banks combined, including places like pharmacies and grocery stores.
Saving money and more convenient. Look at you being so helpful.
What'd you expect? You're standing at a help stop.
That's you.
That's me, at a desk.
When a bank helps you get and stay ahead, that's the BMO effect.
Naperville Central boys soccer travels to Bolingbrook for a regional championship matchup. The winner advances to the sectional semifinals against Oswego. Starting the game a minute and a half in, the ball falls to Carter Adams on top of the box as he passes the ball into the top corner. Naperville Central takes an early 1-0 lead. Bolingbrook looking for a quick response. Aiden Montes shows off his moves, taking a shot from distance that goes just high. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Patrick Berryman sends in a cross that is initially dealt with, but the rebound falls to Ludo Galina, who buries the shot. Naperville Central goes into halftime up 2. 10 minutes into the second half, after a mad scramble in the box, the Bolingbrook defense is unable to clear as the ball finds Michael Cavallari, who puts the Redhawks up by 3. Just a minute later, the Raiders are on the attack. Aiden Montes puts in a cross that finds the head of Iggy Escamilla, who cuts the deficit to 2. After the goal, emotions were high as both teams go at each other, resulting in 3 red cards. Bolingbrook goes down to 9 men and Naperville Central goes down to 10 men. The Raiders are looking for a quick second. Anthony Mondrago gets the ball on the edge of the box, putting a shot on net, but it's easily claimed by Connor Waite. Naperville Central looking to close out the game. Ludo Galina plays a ball into the path of Michael Cavallari and the senior does the rest, putting the game to bed. Naperville Central takes down Bolingbrook by a score of 4-1. The Redhawks advance to the sectional semifinals against Oswego next Wednesday. Nazareth Academy hosts Bennett Academy for the 2A Boys Soccer Regional Championship. The Red Wings knocked off Hinsdale South in the semifinals, while the Roadrunners defeated St. Francis to set up the clash between ESCC rivals. Early in the game, Bennett is on the attack as Sam Trunell sends a pass to the middle. Brendan Bergnach flies in and gets a foot on the ball, but it floats too high over the crossbar and the game remains scoreless. A few minutes later, Red Wings sophomore Jason Rydell has some space before lofting a ball towards the net. He lets the wind take over as the ball finds the top shelf of the net for the goal. Bennett takes the early 1-0 lead. Nazareth looks for the equalizer off of a corner kick. Jack Huthal deflects the ball, but it bounces right to Jacob Sanchez. His shot is wide to the left as Bennett maintains the 1-goal advantage. Still in the first half, a high centering pass heads towards Bennett senior Nick Rowe. The midfielder goes for the header, but it stays just wide. Later in the half, after a Roadrunner penalty inside the box, Nick Rowe lines up for a penalty kick. The captain delivers, keeping the ball low and slots it into the corner to give the Red Wings a 2-0 lead at halftime. In the second half, Sergio Polanco finds Sean Boyle with the pass. The junior dribbles in and fires, but the attempt is saved by Nazareth keeper Kristen Bent. Nazareth looking to get on the board. Arriego Hernandez with a free kick as he finds Colin Schaefer for the header attempt. Drew Cano hustles over and the ball deflects off the post and out of bounds. Time winding down now. Bennett with a corner from Matt Banka. The ball bounces around the defense and heads towards the net. Krister Bent tries to make the diving save at the same time a Roadrunner defender tries to clear the ball, and it ends up as an own goal. It was that kind of day for Bennett Academy as the Red Wings take home the Nazareth Boys Soccer Regional Championship.
This week's Boys Play of the Week comes from postseason soccer action with Bennett Academy taking on Nazareth in the regional final. It's scoreless early on in the game and the Red Wings set up shop on offense. The ball works its way to Jason Rydell and he takes a look at goal from a long way out. He puts a boot to the ball and hits it as perfectly as you can. Some great curve on the ball and a little help from the wind puts it past the keeper for an early lead. Let's take one more look at the goal as the ball ends up in the top right corner of the net. Bennett would go on to win the regional final and advance to the sectional semis. That wraps up show number 9 of NSW Season 17. Make sure to tune in again next week for more postseason coverage as playoff football and volleyball get underway. You can find all our highlights from the season as well as feature stories and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV 17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and I'll see you again next week.